Hey, Imperador, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to see if I can actually make it happen. So I need to, I guess, put a disclaimer out there that the FBI has a federal law that allows you to show uh, licensed Hollywood movies or licensed material, provided you're using it for educational purposes only. And I am only going to show a movie, and I'm not showing the whole movie. I'm pulling clips, and I'm using Hollywood actors to illustrate an educational perspective about relationships, about social, how people socialize. This movie is only being shown for educational purposes, and under the FBI federal laws allows you to do that, provided it's only for educational purposes only. And that is the only reason I am going to show this. So I'd like to do another screen share. Let's see if I can start where I left off.
Madame? Monsieur. Monsieur? Excuse me. I'm sorry, sir. This is a private room.
A fool in there. Who do you think? I know there is family in there. There is no secret. You dare not kick me out of here.
Yes, what's the trouble?
These gentlemen... I have been in every family room between Honolulu and Berlin. And if you think I'm going to be kept out of a saloon like this, you're very much mistaken.
Excuse me, please.
Hello,
Harvey. Your cash is good at the bar.
What? Do you know who I am?
I do. You're lucky the bar's open to you.
This is outrageous. I shall report it to the Angry.
You know, Rick, watching you just now with the Deutsche Bank, one would think you've been doing this all your life.
Well, what makes you think I haven't?
Oh, nothing. But when you first came to Casablanca, I thought...
You thought what?
What right do I have to think? Man, too bad about those two German couriers, wasn't it?
They got a lucky break. Yesterday, there were just two German clerks. Today, they're on it dead.
You're a very cynical person, Rick. If you forgive me for saying it.
I forgive you.
Thank you. Will you have a drink with me, please?
No.
Oh, I forgot you never drink with any... I'll have another, please. Yes, miss. You despise me, don't you?
Well, if I gave you any thought, I probably would.
But why? Oh, you object to the kind of business I do, huh? But think of all those poor refugees who must rot in this place if I didn't help them. Well, that's not so bad. Through ways of my own, I provide them with exit visas.
For a price, Ugarte. For a price.
But think of all the poor devils who can't beat a nose price. Oh, I get it for them for half. Is that so parasitic?
I don't mind a parasite. I object to a cut rate one.
Well, Rick, after tonight, I'll be through with the whole business, and I'm leaving, finally, this Casablanca.
Who's bribed for your visa? Renault or yourself?
Myself. Found myself much more reasonable. Look, Rick. You know what this is? Something that even you have never seen. Letters of transit signed by General Vegon. Cannot be rescinded, not even questioned. One moment. Tonight I'll be selling those for more money than even I have ever dreamed of. And then, adio, Casablanca. You know, Rick, I have many a friend in Casablanca, but somehow, just because you despise me, you are the only one I trust. Will you keep these for me, please?
For how long?
Oh, perhaps an hour, perhaps a little longer.
I don't want them here overnight.
Don't be afraid of that. Please keep them for me. Thank you. I knew I could trust you. Waiter, I'll be expecting some people. If anybody asks for me, I'll be right here.
Yes, monsieur.
Rick, I hope you're more impressed with me now. If you'll forgive me, I'll share my good luck with your roulette wheel.
Just a moment. Yeah, I heard a rumor those two German couriers were carrying letters of transit.
Huh? Oh, I've heard that rumor too. Poor devils.
Yes, you're right, Ugarte. I am a little more impressed with you.
So when I speak of honor, you see Humphrey Bogart in the white. This guy, talk about straight talk. This is a guy who he doesn't mince words. He doesn't sugarcoat. This guy is direct, straightforward. You always know where he's coming from. And even though, what's this other guy's name? Peter Lorre. Even though the other guy knows Humphrey doesn't like him, he can trust him because he always knows where he's coming from. He knows that he's going to be a straight shooter. He's going to tell him he doesn't like him. And I mean, what do you do if someone says they don't like you? I mean, there's some honor in being able to be straight and direct, and letting people that I don't really care for your behavior and how you conduct yourself. But yet still Humphrey allows him into the place. So Humphrey Bogart is the owner of this place, Ricky's. Humphrey Bogart is Richard, Ricky, and all the other names they call him. So you see the other guy is giving Humphrey Bogart some really important papers that he knows he can't have on him because he knows he's wanted by the law. So these papers are priceless. For people, as you saw in the beginning of this, people are leaving Europe and going down into Morocco so they can get to Lisbon and then flee to the US. So these papers are extremely valuable. How he acquired them, there's lots of suspicion around that, but let's go on. Oh, and by the way, YouTube shut me down before. There technically was no reason to do it. I'm showing this movie only for educational purposes. They shut it down. I should be fine now because according to the FBI, you are allowed to show material even though it's licensed. And if you're using it for educational purposes, and I've done this in the past, I showed that movie Patterns. I'm just doing this again, and I will do it in the future. It's so much easier to bring some of these ideas to life. So we're talking about honor. Are men more honorable than women? And when you talk about honor in leadership, honor in relationships, leaders are looking at big picture, long-term consequences, and there's some honor in the decisions they make. And definitely you want to have that in your relationships. So I'm going to jump ahead to the next scene that I thought was important. I'm not going to go through the musical they're about to play here. Let's see. I might need... Let's see.
Hello, Ray.
Hello, Ferrari. How's business at the Blue Parrot?
Fine, but I'd like to buy your cafe.
It's not for sale.
Haven't heard my offer.
It's not for sale at any price.
Humphrey Bogart is he's this cool, calm, collected guy. The fat guy has the Blue Parrot, which is a competing cafe, bar, whatever they call them, saloon. And the fat dude is always trying to buy Humphrey Bogart's place because it's so popular. And well, they'll explain.
What do you want for Sam?
I don't buy or sell human beings.
Too bad, that's Casablanca's leading commodity. Refugees alone, we can make a fortune. Work with me through the black market.
Suppose you run your business and let me run mine.
Suppose we ask Sam. Maybe he'd like to make a change.
Suppose we do.
My dear Rick, when will you realize that in this world today, isolationism is no longer a practical policy?
Sam Ferrari wants you to work for him at the Blue Parrot.
Oh, I like it fine, yeah.
You double what I pay you.
Yeah, but I ain't got time to spend the money I make here.
Sorry.
What's this private stuff? Because you won, I love you.
Oh, shut up.
All right, all right. For you, I shut up. Because you won, I love you. Oh.
So, does that make the bartender a simp for that woman? So, is the bartender a simp? Were they simping back then? This is 1942. So, let's see how Humphrey Bogart handles women back then.
Oh, Monsieur Rick. Some Germans, boom, 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 pay this check. Is that right?
Where were you last night?
That's so long ago, I don't remember.
Will I see you tonight?
I never make plans that far ahead.
Give me another.
Sasha, she's had enough.
Don't listen to him, Sasha. Fill it up.
Yvonne, I love you, but he pays me.
Rick, I'm sick and tired of begging you.
Call a cab.
Yes, boss.
Come on, we're going to get your coat.
Take your hands off
When
me.
you're going home, you've had a little too much to drink.
Hey, taxi.
What do you think you are pushing me around? What a fool I was to fall for a man like you.
Go with her, Sasha, and be sure she gets home.
Yes, boss.
And come right back.
Yes, boss.
You see that? He wasn't sweet talking her. He laid down the laws. He put boundaries. You had enough to drink. That's it. Right? So, but even that, there's some honor in his behavior. And talk about leadership. Like, so what's in the best interest of everyone? You had enough to drink. That's it. See, that's, you know, a lot of women say they're looking for leadership from guys. And a big part of it is being able to set up those boundaries. See, women talk about the guys when they used to be men. Well, that's what men used to do. And now they'll call you misogynistic, sexist, and all the other brutal, machismo, manhandling a woman. And yet, even today, in 2021, women will still give that kind of man more respect than the bartender. Who's she having sex with, the bartender or Humphrey Bogart? And Humphrey says, make sure you bring your ass right back here. This is a no-nonsense guy. He's got a business to run, and he's not letting anyone interfere in his life and ability to accomplish things.
Hello, Rick.
Ollie?
How extravagant you are, throwing away women like that. Someday they may be scarce. I think now I shall pay a call on Yvonne. Maybe get her on the rebound. Huh?
When it comes to women, you're a true Democrat.
Et moi, je vous dis que l'attitude de l'Italie est immonde. Qu'est-ce que vous auriez fait sans l'armée allemande? Et la crasse. Ce pauvre petit pays correspond, c'est la gueule. If he gets a word in, it'll be a major Italian victory. Complaint in Lisbon. You'd like to be on it.
Why? What's in Lisbon?
Clipper to America. I've often speculated on why you don't return to America. Did you abscond with the church funds? Did you run off with the senator's wife? I like to think that you killed a man. It's the romantic in me.
It's a combination of all three.
And what in heaven's name brought you to Casablanca?
My health. I came to Casablanca for the waters.
The waters? What waters? We're in the desert.
I was misinformed.
Excuse me, Monsieur Rick, but a gentleman inside has won 20,000 francs, and the cashier would like some money.
Well, I'll get it from the safe.
I'm so upset, Monsieur Rick. You know, I
Forget
can't
it, Emile.
understand.
Things like that happen all the time.
I'm awfully sorry.
some excitement here tonight. We're going to make an arrest in your cafe. Again? This is no ordinary arrest. A murderer, no less. If you're thinking of warning him, don't put yourself out. He cannot possibly escape.
I stick my neck out for nobody.
Wise foreign policy. Oui, d'accord. La Tunisie. Nice. Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait pour les avoir? You made this arrest earlier in the evening at the Blue Parrot. None of my high regard for you. We're staging it here. It will amuse your customers.
Our entertainment's enough.
Rick, we're to have an important guest here tonight. Major Strasser of the Third Reich, no less. We want him to be here when we make the arrest. A little demonstration of the efficiency of my administration.
I see. And what's Strasser doing here? He certainly didn't come all the way to Casablanca to witness a demonstration of your efficiency.
Perhaps not.
Here you are.
Shall not happen again.
That's all right. Well, you got something on your mind. Why don't you spill it?
How observant you are. As a matter of fact, I wanted to give you a word of advice.
Yeah? Yeah, Brandy?
Thank you. Rick, there are many exit visas sold in this cafe, but we know that you've never sold one. That is the reason we permit you to remain open.
Oh, I thought it was because I let you win at roulette.
That is another reason. There is a man arrived in Casablanca on his way to America. He will offer a fortune to anyone who will furnish him with an exit visa.
What's his name?
Victor Laszlo.
Victor Laszlo.
Rick, that is the first time I've ever seen you so impressed.
Well, he succeeded in impressing half the world.
It's my duty to see that he doesn't impress the other half. Rick, Laszlo.
How can you do this?
Must never reach America. He stays in Casablanca.
It'll be interesting to see how he might win at roulette.
That is another reason. There is a man arrived in Casablanca on his way to America. He will offer a fortune to anyone who will furnish him with an exit visa.
What's his name?
Victor Laszlo.
Victor Laszlo.
Rick, that is the first time I've ever seen you so impressed.
Well, he succeeded in impressing half the world.
It's my duty to see that he doesn't impress the other half. Rick, Laszlo must never reach America. He stays in Casablanca.
It'll be interesting to see how he manages.
So this has you could say the movie is set up now. So what's going to happen next is all predicated on this conversation that just happened right now. The entire movie, this Laszlo guy, they want to stop him from making it to the US. So all the events that happen going forth are the result of this guy and the Germans wanting to stop Laszlo because he's too influential. And it's going to be interesting to watch decisions that are made in terms of honor, in terms of... Hello? Yeah. No, it's available. Yes. All right. Bye. So you'll see honor, you'll see leadership, and you're going to see how all of that, even how he just managed that the woman and put her in a cab, like his. See, these are the things that women are saying they want in leadership in a man. So this movie is great for demonstrating all of these things, and honor really is sort of in the background of all of this. And there's a lot of dishonor happening, being interwoven, right? So he just told this guy, he lets him win at the roulette table. That's so he can keep his place open and not get shut down. So let's see how this unfolds and how important honor and leadership will be.
And just what?
His escape?
Oh, but I just told you.
Stop it. Escaped from a concentration camp. The Nazis have been chasing him all over Europe.
This is the end of the chase.
20,000 francs. Says it isn't.
Is that a serious offer?
I just paid out 20. I'd like to get it back.
Make it 10. I'm only a poor, corrupt official.
Okay.
Done. No matter how clever he is, he still needs an exit visa. Or I should say 2.
Why 2?
He is traveling with a lady.
Let's take 1.
I think not. I've seen the lady. And if he did not leave her in Marseille or in Iran, he certainly won't leave her in Casablanca.
Well, maybe he's not quite as romantic as you are.
It doesn't matter. There is no exit visa for him.
Really, whatever gave you the impression that I might be interested in helping Laszlo escape?
Because, my dear Ricky, I suspect that under that cynical shell, you're at heart a sentimentalist. Oh, laugh if you will, but I happen to be familiar with your record. Let me point out just 2 items. In 1935, you ran guns to Ethiopia. In 1936, you fought in Spain on the loyalist side.
I got well paid for it on both occasions.
The winning side would have paid you much better.
Maybe. Well, it seems that you're determined to keep Laszlo here.
I have my orders.
Oh, I see. Gestapo spank.
My dear Ricky, you overestimate the influence of the Gestapo. I don't interfere with them, and they don't interfere with me. In
Why?
Casablanca, I am master of my fate.
Laszlo here.
I have my orders. Would have paid you much better. Guns to Ethiopia. Oh, laugh if you...
Why? Why? Come on now. Put it back.
You will, but I happen to be familiar with your record. Let me point out just 2 items. In 1935, you ran guns to Ethiopia. In 1936, you fought in Spain on the loyalist side.
I got well paid for it on both occasions.
The winning side would have paid you much better.
Maybe. Well, it seems that you're determined to keep Laszlo here.
I have my orders.
Oh, I see. Gestapo spank.
My dear Ricky, you overestimate the influence of the Gestapo. I don't interfere with them, and they don't interfere with me. In Casablanca, I am master of my fate. I am
Major
Captain...
Strasser is here, sir.
Hey, you were saying.
Excuse me. Carl, see that Major Strasser gets a good table, one close to the ladies.
I got it.
Dude! Why are you all stopping my video? What's up with this? This stream is for educational purposes only. I'm only showing licensed material for educational reasons. I'm not selling a video. I'm not attempting to own the rights. Yeah, I see that. Uh, yeah.
Giving him the best, knowing he's German and would take it anyway.
Take him quietly. 2 guards at every door. Yes, sir. Everything is ready, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Captain.
Want to join us? Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here, Major.
Champagne and a tin of caviar.
May I recommend Veuve Clicquot, 26, a good French wine?
Thank you.
Very well.
So the other thing that happens, and look, according to the FBI, there is a clause that allows you to show licensed movies from Hollywood as long as you're doing it for educational purposes. And I'm not sure why we're going through this. So under, thanks for that, Alpha Sigma. Under fair use, the FBI permits you to show movies, Hollywood movies that are licensed, and you have to be using it for educational purposes, and that is the only reason I'm showing this movie under fair use, and it's being shown for educational purposes only under fair use. That is what I'm operating under fair use for this, and it's for educational purposes only.
Well, sir.
Very interesting club.
Especially so tonight, Major. In a few minutes, you'll see the arrest of the man who murdered your couriers.
I expected no less, Captain. Monsieur Ugapi.
Oh. La partie continue.
Yes? Will you please come with us?
Certainly.
L'incident est clos, madame.
May I first please cash my chips?
L'incident est clos, madame. La partie continue. Faites vos jeux, messieurs, mesdames. Partons les jeux. La partie continue. Les jeux sont faits.
Very lucky, huh? 2,000, please.
2,000.
Thank you.
La partie continue. Les jeux sont faits. Rick, help me.
Be a fool, you can't get away.
Rick, help me. Do something. You must help me, Rick. Do something. Rick! Rick!
Excellent.
When they come to get me, Rick, I hope you'll be more of a help.
I'd stick my neck out for nobody. I'm sorry there was a disturbance, folks.
Hey, like I said, this guy is a straight shooter. He lets you know he is not sticking his neck out. He doesn't want to do anything that lacks integrity. this guy is showing that he's a straight shooter and being honorable. And the other thing you're going to see in this is lots of negotiation between men, lots of handshake negotiation where things get done. YouTube, I'm showing this under fair use. This is under FBI. You have fair use under federal regulations. It allows you to show movies that are licensed as long as you're doing it for educational purposes. Very interesting, YouTube. This is one of the movies that's a classic of classics. Under fair use, you are permitted to show even the classics, provided it's for educational use only.
Folks, but it's all over now. Everything's all right. Just sit down and have a good time. Enjoy yourselves. All right, Sam?
Okay, Bill. Rick, this is Major Heinrich Strasser of the Third Reich.
How do you do, Mr. Rick? How do you do?
And you already know Herr Heinz of the Third Reich?
Please join us, Mr. Rick.
We are very honored tonight, Rick. Major Strasser is one of the reasons the Third Reich enjoys the reputation it has today.
You repeat Third Reich as though you expected there to be others.
Well, personally, Major, I will take what comes.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? Unofficially, of course. Make it official if you like.
Okay, YouTube. What's up with that?
What is your nationality? I'm a drunkard.
And that makes Rick a citizen of the world.
I was born in New York City, if that'll help you any. I understand that you came here from Paris at the time of the occupation. There seems to be no secret about that. Are you one of those people who cannot imagine the Germans and their beloved Paris? Not particularly my beloved Paris. Can you imagine us in London? When you get there, ask me.
Diplomatist.
How about New York? Well, there are certain sections of New York, Major, that I wouldn't advise you to try to invade. Uh-huh. Who do you think will win the war? I haven't the slightest idea.
Rick is completely neutral about everything, and that takes in the field of women, too.
You are not always so carefully neutral. We have a complete dossier on you. Richard Blaine, American, age 37, cannot return to his country. The reason is a little vague. We also know what you did in Paris, Mr. Blaine, and also we know why you left Paris. Don't worry, we are not going to broadcast it. Oh, my eye's really brown. You will forgive my curiosity, Mr. Blaine. The point is, an enemy of the Reich has come to Casablanca, and we are checking up on anybody who can be of any help to us. Well, my interest in whether Victor Laszlo stays or goes is purely a sporting one. In this case, you have no sympathy for the fox, huh? Not particularly. I understand the point of view of the hound, too. Victor Laszlo published the foulest lies in the Prague newspapers until the very day we marched in, and even after that, he continued to print scandal sheets in his cellar.
Of course, one must admit he has great courage.
I admit he's very clever. 3 times he slipped through our fingers. In Paris, he continued his activities. We intend not to let it happen again.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Your business is politics. Mine is running a saloon.
Good evening, Mr. Blaine.
I got you, YouTube. Under fair use, I'm allowed to show this video under fair use. Under fair use, I'm allowed to show it for educational purposes only. Under fair use, you are allowed, I am allowed to show movies, even though they are licensed. Under fair use, I and others are allowed to show them. I'm showing this under fair use, and it's for educational purposes only. That is the only reason I'm showing it. I'm not showing the entire movie. We'll skip to several parts, and we're on.
See, Major, you have nothing to worry about, Rick.
Perhaps.
Yes, monsieur.
Now the story changes. The pace changes, the plot thickens, and we're going to start. We'll start down somewhat of a rabbit hole here. So, the pace of the movie will change now. Very interesting. Why would you stop this under fair, even though fair use is permitted? Under fair use, you are permitted, I am permitted to show this for educational purposes only.
I reserve the table. Victor Laszlo.
Yes, Monsieur Laszlo. Right this way.
So this is Victor. This is what this movie Humphrey Bogart and or Rick in this movie. This is what this is all going to come down to. And you're going to watch whether these two men actually have honor. And are they both leaders, even though they're not standing for the same thing? Or are they?
Two Cointreaus, please. Here, monsieur. I saw no one of who got this description.
Victor, I feel somehow we shouldn't stay here.
If you would walk out so soon, it would only call attention to us. Perhaps Bugatti is in some other part of the cafe.
Excuse me, but you look like a couple who are on their way to America.
Well,
You'll find a market there for this ring. I'm forced to sell it at a great sacrifice.
thank you, but I hardly think.
Then perhaps for the lady, the ring is quite unique.
Oh, yes, I'm very interested.
Good.
What is your name?
Berger, Norwegian, and at your service, sir.
Victor.
I'll meet you in a few minutes at the bar. No, I don't think we want to buy the ring, but thank you for showing it to us.
Such a bargain. But that is your decision.
I'm sorry, it is.
Monsieur Laszlo, is it not?
Yes?
I'm Captain Renault, Prefect of Police.
Yes, what is you want?
Merely to welcome you to Casablanca and to wish you a pleasant stay. It isn't often we have so distinguished a visitor.
Thank you. I hope you'll forgive me, Captain. The present French administration hasn't always been so cordial. May I present Miss Ilzerland?
I was informed you were the most beautiful woman ever to visit Casablanca. That was a gross understatement.
You're very kind.
Won't you join us?
If you will permit me. Oh, no, Emile, please, a bottle of your best champagne and put it on my bill. Very well, sir.
Captain, please.
Oh, please, monsieur. It is a little game we play. They put it on the bill. I tear up the bill. It is very convenient.
Captain, the boy was playing the piano. Somewhere I've seen him.
Sam?
Yes.
He came from Paris with Rick.
Rick? Who's he?
Mademoiselle, you're in Rick's. And Rick is...
Is what?
Well, Mademoiselle, he's the...
The boy was playing the piano. Somewhere I've seen him.
Sam?
Yes.
He came from Paris with Rick.
Rick? Who's he?
Mademoiselle, you're in Rick's. And Rick is...
Is what?
Well, Mademoiselle, he's the kind of man that... Well, if I were a woman and I were not around, I should be in love with Rick. But what a fool I am talking to a beautiful woman with another man. Major. Mademoiselle Lund and Monsieur Leslie, may I present Major Heinrich Strasser?
How do you do?
This is a pleasure I have long looked forward to.
I'm sure you'll excuse me if I'm not gracious. But you see, Major Strasser, I'm a Czechoslovakian.
You were Czechoslovakian. Now you are a subject of the German Reich.
I've never accepted that privilege, and I'm now on French soil.
I should like to discuss some matters arising from your presence on French soil.
This is hardly the time or the place.
Then we shall state another time and another place, tomorrow at 10 in the prefect's office. With mademoiselle.
Captain Renault, I'm under your authority. Is it your order that we come to your office?
Let us say it is my request. That is a much more pleasant word.
Very well.
Mademoiselle?
Mademoiselle.
A very clever tactical retreat, Major.
This time they really mean to stop me.
Victor, I'm afraid for you.
We've been in difficult places before, haven't we?
So Victor is a guy who stands for something. No question, no doubt. And he's willing to risk it all. So this is leaders who are doing things in the best interest. This is during World War II. The entire world is in strife, stress, more than stress, fear. And the Germans are occupying. Japan is bombing. But this is a guy who's looking to unite people, and there are those who want to stop him. So how do leaders deal with these situations? How do they look at what's in the best interest of all? So Victor is showing himself to be an honorable guy, and some people actually want to stop him.
Hello, Sam.
Hello, Miss Elsie. I never expect to see you again.
Been a long time.
Yes, ma'am. A lot of water under the bridge.
Some of the old songs, Sam.
Yes, ma'am.
She asked, I guess, the guy who manages the place to ask Sam, the piano player, to come over. And if you haven't seen this before, you'll understand why they are familiar with one another.
Where is Rick?
I don't know. I ain't seen him all night.
When will he be back?
Not tonight no more. He ain't coming. He went home.
Does he always leave so early?
Oh, he never. Well, he's got a girl up to the Blue Parrot. Goes up there all the time.
You used to be a much better liar, Sam.
Leave him alone, Miss Elsie. You bad luck to him.
Interesting how he is looking out for Rick, Humphrey Bogart. Very interesting.
Play it once, Sam. For all time's sake.
I don't know what you mean, Miss Elsie.
Play it, Sam. Play as time goes by.
Oh, I can't remember it, Miss Elsie. I'm a little rusty on it.
I'll hum it for you. Da-da, da-da, da-da. Da-da, da-da, da-da. Sing it, Sam.
You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers woo, they still say I love you. On that you can rely. No matter what the future brings as time goes by.
Sam, I thought I told you never to play.
Well, you were asking about.
Under fair use, I have the right to show this. It's for educational purposes only. I could have been nearly done with this without the interruptions.
Rick, and here he is. Mademoiselle, may I present...
Hello, Elder.
Hello, Rick.
Oh, you've already met Rick, Mademoiselle. Then perhaps you also...
This is Mr. Laszlo.
How do you do? How do you do? Well, here's a great deal about Rick in Casablanca. And about Victor Laszlo everywhere. Won't you join us for a drink?
Oh, no, Rick.
No, thanks, I will.
Well, a precedent is being broken. Emile?
It's a very interesting cafe. I congratulate you. I congratulate you. What for? Your work? Thank you. I try. We all try. You succeed.
I can't get over you two. She was asking about you earlier, Rick, in a way that made me extremely jealous.
I wasn't sure you were the same. Let's see, the last time we met.
Was La Belle Aurore.
How nice, you remembered. But of course, that was the day the Germans marched into Paris.
Not an easy day to forget. I remember every detail. The Germans wore gray. You wore blue.
Yes, I put that dress away. When the Germans march out, I'll wear it again.
Ricky, you're becoming quite human. I suppose we have to thank you for that, Mademoiselle.
Ilse, I don't wish to be the one to say it, but it's late.
So it is. And we have a curfew here in Casablanca. It would never do for the chief of police to be found drinking after hours and have to find himself.
I hope you didn't overstay our welcome. Not at all.
Your check, sir.
Oh, that's my party.
Another president gone. This has been a very interesting evening. I'll call you a cab. Gasoline rationing, time of night.
You'll come again. Anytime.
Say good night to Sam for me.
I will.
There's still nobody in the world who can play as time goes by like Sam.
He hasn't played it in a long time.
So, yeah, he shut me down again, huh? So I think these two guys, Victor and Rick, have a lot of honor with them. And it's going to be interesting to see how all of this unfolds and how honor plays a role in, once again, like I said, leadership. So perhaps YouTube has me on some kind of timer. They just automatically shut it down. I'm showing this under fair use.
Boss? Boss?
Yeah?
Boss, ain't you going to bed?
Not right now.
Ain't you planning on going to bed in the near future?
No.
You ever going to bed?
No.
Well, I ain't sleepy either.
Good, then have a drink.
No, not me,
I
boss.
don't have a drink.
Boss, let's get out of here.
Oh, sir. Waiting for a lady.
Please, boss, let's go. Ain't nothing but trouble for you here.
Coming back. I know she's coming back.
We'll take the car and drive all night. We'll get drunk. We'll go fishing and stay away until she's
Shut
gone.
up and go home, will you?
No, sir. I'm staying right here.
Interesting how men can speak to one another that way. He told him to shut up and go home. The way men can stand for one another. So this, even though it's his boss, he's still standing up for his boss. There's history going on here. It'll unfold shortly, actually very soon. And well, when I showed the other video, I showed how men can actually talk to one another and not be emotional about it, right? So perhaps this is what ladies like about men, that we can actually have this kind of talk with one another and not fall apart. Today, when you tell a guy to shut up and go home, he may get upset and want to fight you. So, his response was, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm staying with you. I'm going to make sure you're okay. So look, you can be masculine and manly and still care about another man and not have it be anything weird or strange about it. That's part of this honor and manhood, and a care and a taking care of one another, and not even looking for anything in return for that. So what's in the best interest? This is what I was saying before YouTube shut down the other one, that there's an honor that men have where they actually are looking out for the best interest. We're almost told to not do this, to not be able to talk to one another, like shut up and go home. It's considered toxic. But as men, we have the capacity to do that without falling apart.
I grab Ugarte, then she walks in. Well, that's the way it goes. One in, one out. Sam.
Yes, boss.
It's December 1941 in Casablanca. What time is it in New York?
My wife's stuck.
But they're asleep in New York. I bet they're asleep all over America. Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine. What's that you're playing?
Oh, just a little something on my own.
Oh, stop it. You know what I want to hear.
No, don't.
You played it for her, you play it for me.
Well, I don't think I can remember.
If she can stand it, I can. Play it.
Yes, boss.
Hey, he's just going back in time. 1942. This is how they did the going back down memory lane, is what he's about to do.
are you really, and what were you before? What did you do, and what did you think, huh?
We said no questions.
Here's looking at you, kid.
So, very interesting. Don't ask, don't tell policy was going on back in 1942. No questions, right? That's like getting a mortgage with no docs, no documents, no questions. Don't want to answer anything. Just give you the money and give me the mortgage, right? So that's their relationship. No questions. Let's just enjoy the moment, huh? That's how that works. So we're going to see how that unfolds. No questions. We'll see why there seemed to be something much more than meets the eye when they first met in Rick's place. So this is going to, he's shedding light on, as you see, who they were as a couple. Hot and heavy.
Frank, for your thoughts.
In America, they bring only a penny. I guess that's about all they're worth.
I'm willing to be overcharged. Tell me.
Well, I was wondering
Yes.
why I'm so lucky, why I should find you waiting for me to come along.
Why there is no other man in my life?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's getting curious. So life is good. He's enjoying her. He's seeing her as being a good woman. Now he's asking questions. What's the deal? You know that question, guys. Why are you single? That's what he's asking her. What's the deal? So as you see, he's getting down to the question that's even asked today. She's presenting herself as a good package, not a package in terms of children from other men, but the total package as a woman. He's enjoying this, and now he wants to know, why are you single? What is the deal? What's really going on? Who are you? He's trying to understand who she is. He wants to know. I mean, clearly he's moving forward with her. As a man, he is he's doing his due diligence to find out who she really is. So he's asking questions, rightfully so.
That's easy. There was. He's dead.
I'm sorry for asking. I forgot we said no questions.
Only one answer can take care of all our questions.
Kiss, sex, intimacy. Intimacy solves it all, doesn't it? Right? Just kiss me, let's have sex, and we don't have to. You don't have to ask me so many questions.
Stuttgart, Allemagne. Français, Parisiens. Les troupes françaises ont abandonné leur position. Les Allemands seront demain dans la capitale.
Nothing can stop them now. Wednesday, Thursday at the latest, they'll be in Paris.
Richard, they'll find out your record. It won't be safe for you here.
I'm on their blacklist already. Their roll of honor.
I do give her credit. She, whether it's with Richard or Victor, she's a woman who shows care for her man. So she does care. And she picks guys who stand for something. So.
Songs never out of date, hearts full of passion, jealousy and hate. Woman needs man, and man.
Oh. Man.
Man must have his mate that no one can deny.
So here they are in France, in their hangout. In Paris, and there's Sam. Play it again, Sam.
Still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die.
And this is their song. And as you see, when you go to present day, Rick told Sam, don't play that song anymore. You'll find out why.
The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by.
Henri wants us to finish this bottle and then 3 more. Said he'll water his garden with champagne before he let the Germans drink it.
This ought to take the sting out of being occupied, does it, Mr. Richard?
You said it. He's looking at you, kid.
Franzosen, Einwohner von Paris. Franzosen, Einwohner von Paris. Hört aufmerksam zu. Die deutschen Truppen stehen vor den Toren von Paris. Eure Hauptstadt ist ohne jegliche Verteidigung. Euer Heer ist in Auflösung begriffen. Seid unbesorgt. Wir werden Ruhe und Ordnung wiederherstellen.
German's a little rusty.
It's the Gestapo. say they expect to be in Paris tomorrow. They're telling us how to act when they come marching in. Is the whole world crumbling? We think it's time to fall in love.
Yeah, it's pretty bad timing. You say 10 years ago.
How to act when they come marching in.
Uh, So it looks like YouTube really wants me to stop showing this. Uh, I'm not showing this from a YouTube channel. It's from another website. Under fair use, I have the right to show this. It's for educational purposes only.
Is the whole world crumbling? We think it's time to fall in love.
Yeah, it's pretty bad timing. Where were you, say, 10 years ago?
10 years ago. Let's see. Yes, I was having a brace put on my teeth. Where were you?
Looking for a job.
Is that can on fire? Or is it my heart pounding?
That's the new German 77, but judging by the sound, only about 35 miles away. I'm getting closer every minute. Here, drink up. We'll never finish the other 3.
Rick was an arms dealer, selling guns. He knows his guns, man.
Germans will be here pretty soon now, and they'll come looking for you. And don't forget, there's a price on your head.
I left a note in my apartment. They'll know where to find me.
Strange. I know so very little about you.
I know very little about you. Just the fact that you had your teeth straightened.
But be serious, darling. You are in danger, and you must leave Paris.
No. We must leave.
Yes, of course, we.
The train from Marseille leaves at 5 o'clock. I'll pick you up at your hotel at 4:30.
No, not at my hotel. I have things to do in the city before I leave. I'll meet you at the station.
All right. At 4:45. Say, when do we get married, Marseille?
That's too far ahead to plan.
Yes, I guess it is a little too far ahead. Well, let's see. What about the engineer? Why can't he marry us on the train? Oh, why not? The captain on the ship there. What about the engineer? Why can't he?
Oh. Oh.
That's too far ahead to plan.
Yes, I guess it is a little too far ahead. Well, let's see. What about the engineer? Why can't he marry us on the train? Oh, why not? The captain on the ship can. It doesn't seem fair that... Hey, what's wrong, kid?
I love you so much. And I hate this war so much. Oh, it's a crazy world. Anything can happen. If you shouldn't get away. I mean, if something should keep us apart, wherever they put you, and wherever I'll be, I want you to know.
Kiss solves it all.
Kiss me. Kiss me as if it were the last time.
Last
Where is she? Have you seen her? No, Mr. Richard, I can't find her. She checked out of the hotel. But this note came just after you left.
In case it's a little blurred, Richard, I cannot go with you or ever see you again. You must not ask why. Just believe that I love you. Go, my darling, and God bless you, Ilsa. So here we go.
That's the last call, Mr. Richard. Do you hear me? Come on, Mr. Richard, let's get out of here. Come on, Mr. Richard, come on.
So some guys would say this is how he turned. He would be red pill. You remember earlier in the movie, the way he handled the woman he was seeing. And she said, I don't know why I fall for you. How do you turn a man red pill? Oh, I should just get to the punchline here. So now we know why he didn't want Sam playing that song again, why he wasn't saying play it again, Sam. Now, so some people will say this is how the path of red pill is created with scenes like this. So that's how it went down in the past. He went down memory lane. Now he's back. And he believes she's going to show up at his nightclub.
first drink to have with you. Here,
No, Rick, not tonight.
especially tonight. Why did you have to come to Casablanca? There are other places.
I wouldn't have come if I'd known that you were here. Believe me, Rick, it's true. I didn't know.
Funny about your voice, how it hasn't changed. I can still hear it. Richard, dear, I'll go with you any place. We'll get on a train together and never stop.
Don't, Rick.
You, dear.
No, Rick, not tonight.
Especially tonight. Why did you have to come to Casablanca? There are other... places.
I wouldn't have come if I'd known that you were here. Believe me, Rick, it's true. I didn't know.
Funny about your voice, how it hasn't changed. I can still hear it. Richard, dear, I'll go with you any place. We'll get on a train together and never stop.
Don't, Rick. I can understand how you feel.
You understand how I feel. How long was it we had, honey?
I didn't count the days.
Well, I did. Every one of them. Mostly I remember the last one. The wow finish, a guy standing on a station platform in the rain with a comical look on his face because his insides had been kicked out.
Can I tell you a story, Rick?
You got a wow finish?
I don't know the finish yet.
Go on, tell it, and everyone will come to you as you go along.
So maybe this is the part that women dismiss in men. He said he felt like his insides had been kicked out. And he's telling her straight, and she's saying she understands how he feels. Left him standing at the train station, and if you saw the scene where he was saying, "Let's leave," and she couldn't even face him. She said, "Let's have our last kiss." She knew what was about to happen and left him out there. Here's where guys turn into players and what women claim to be womenizers. You know, while I understand this is a Hollywood movie, but this is partly also this is the making of a red pill man, MGTOW. This is a how do you create MGTOW? You leave the guy standing at the train station and he's all for you.
It's about a girl who had just come to Paris from her home in Oslo. At the house of some friends, she met a man about whom she had heard her whole life, a very great and courageous man. He opened up for her a whole beautiful world full of knowledge and thoughts and ideals. Everything she knew or ever became was because of him. And she looked up to him and worshipped him. But the feeling she supposed was love.
Yes, it's very pretty. I heard a story once. As a matter of fact, I've heard a lot of stories in my time. They went along with the sound of a tinny piano playing in the parlor downstairs. Mister, I met a man once when I was a kid. It always begins. I guess neither one of our stories is very funny. Tell me, who was it you left me for? Was it Laszlo, or were there others in between? Or aren't you the kind to tell?
So is this what we still deal with today, guys? When you're really direct and straightforward with a woman, she doesn't want to deal with. She doesn't want to even be responsible for what you could feel as a human being. And when you talk to her about it, simply bashing. As you see, she walked out. So is this what we get from women, guys, when you want to have straight talk and she says, "Oh, you're just bashing me and I'm not going to deal with it." If you flip it, if it was the other way around, she would have the right to be hysterical and hit him and yell and scream and cry and talk about uh, how he dogged her out. So uh, this movie is also how to create MGTOW or red pill men.
I strongly suspect that you left the letters of transit with Mr. Blaine. I would suggest you search the cafe immediately and thoroughly.
If Rick has the letters, he's much too smart to let you find them there.
You give him credit for too much cleverness. My impression was that he's just another blundering American.
We mustn't underestimate American blundering. I was with them when they blundered into Berlin in 1918.
As to Laszlo, we want him watched 24 hours a day.
It may interest you to know that at this very moment he's on his way here.
Well,
there's nothing we can do. I'm delighted to see you both. Did you have a good night's rest?
I slept very well.
That's strange. Nobody is supposed to sleep well in Casablanca.
Maybe proceed to the business.
With pleasure. Won't you sit down?
Thank you. Very well, Laszlo, we will not mince words. You're an escaped prisoner of the Reich. So far, you have been fortunate enough in eluding us. You have reached Casablanca. It is my duty to see that you stay in Casablanca. Whether or not you will succeed is, of course, problematic. Not at all. Captain Renault's signature is necessary on every exit visa. Captain, would you think it is possible that
So another straight shooter. Another straight shooter. I think it's interesting how they portrayed men, especially you have both Vic and Rick in leadership positions. Rick has his club and he sold arms and fought on the side of Spain and here you have Vic Laszlo, who is leading for a cause also. But both are very much straight shooters. Like these are two guys who are fearless and say what they're thinking without being upset and emotional and yelling and screaming. kind of quiet, direct, and forceful at the same time without being emotional. Very interesting.
Laszlo will receive a visa?
I'm afraid not. My regrets, monsieur.
Well, perhaps I shall like it in Casablanca.
And mademoiselle?
You needn't be concerned about me.
Is it all you wish to tell us?
Don't be in such a hurry. You have all the time in the world. You may be in Casablanca indefinitely. Or you may leave for Lisbon tomorrow on one condition.
And that is?
You know the leader of the underground movement in Paris, in Prague, in Brussels, in Amsterdam, in Oslo, in Belgrade, in Athens.
Even Berlin?
Yes, even in Berlin. If you will furnish me with their names and their exact whereabouts, you will have your visa in the morning.
And the honor of having served the Third Reich.
I was in a German concentration camp for a year. That's honor enough for a lifetime.
You will give us the names?
If I didn't give them to you in a concentration camp, where you had more persuasive methods at your disposal, I certainly won't give them to you now. And what if you track down these men and kill them? What if you murdered all of us? From every corner of Europe, hundreds, thousands would rise to take our places. Even Nazis can't kill that fast.
Well, Laszlo, you have a reputation for eloquence, which I can now understand. But in one respect, you are mistaken. You said the enemies of the Reich could all be replaced. But there's one exception. No one could take your place in the event anything unfortunate should occur to you while you were trying to escape.
Very interesting. So, I was asking about honor, and here's a guy who clearly demonstrated his honor and stand for a cause. He was in a German concentration camp, and he knows the names of underground movements in different countries and refused to give those names. And he's letting them know, if you couldn't do it then, what makes you think you can do it now? And in concentration camps, you had it was easier for you to force people to do things they didn't want to do. So even though he and Rick are not necessarily the same kind of guys, there's some parallels in terms of manhood here.
You won't dare to interfere with me here. This is still unoccupied France. Any violation of neutrality would reflect on Captain Renault.
Monsieur, insofar as it is in my power.
Thank you.
By the way, monsieur, last night you evinced an interest in Signor Ugarte.
Yes?
I believe you have a message for him.
Nothing important, but may I speak to him now?
You would find the conversation a trifle one-sided. Signor Ugarte is dead.
I'm making out the report now. We haven't quite decided whether he committed suicide or died trying to escape.
Are you quite finished with us?
For the time being.
Good day.
Very interesting. The guy who showed him the ring is now dead. That was his contact. He's now lost his contact. And he's attempting to get out of the country to go to Lisbon so he can go to the United States. Very interesting. We talk about men of principles. Now I'm going to show you a guy who honors one man and kind of has no principles. But
Being cheated.
Doesn't matter, thank you.
Ah, the lady's a friend of Rick's. For friends of Rick's, we have a small discount. Did I say 700 francs? You can have it for 200.
I'm sorry I was in no condition to receive you when you called on me last night.
Doesn't matter.
For special friends of Rick's, we have a special discount of 100 francs.
The story had me a little confused. Maybe it was the bourbon.
I have some tablecloths, some napkins.
Thank you. I'm really not impressed.
Please, 1 minute, please.
Why did you come back? To tell me why you ran out on me at the railway station?
Yes.
Well, you can tell me now. I'm reasonably sober.
I don't think I will, Rick.
Why not? After all, I got stuck with a railway ticket. I think I'm entitled to know.
Last night I saw what has happened to you. The Rick I knew in Paris, I could tell him he'd understand.
But the one who looked at me with such hatred. I'll be leaving Casablanca soon and we'll never see each other again.
So we're still getting...
We knew very little about each other.
So, as men, we're still getting the same lines. You must hate women. Very interesting. I guess some things haven't changed, huh?
When we were in love in Paris. If we leave it that way, maybe we'll remember those days, not Casablanca. Not last night.
Did you run out on me because you couldn't take it, because you knew what it would be like? Hiding from the police, running away all the time?
You can believe that if you want to.
Well, I'm not running away anymore. I'm settled now. Above a saloon, it's true, but to walk up a flight, I'll be expecting you. All the same, someday you'll lie to Laszlo. You'll be there.
No, Rick. No, you see, Victor Laszlo is my husband. And was, even when I knew you in Paris.
I was just telling Monsieur Laszlo that unfortunately I'm not able to help him.
You see, my dear, the word has gone around.
As leader of all,
That was deep. It was her husband. She was married when she met him back in the day in Paris. Married. Was she being dishonorable?
legal activities in Casablanca, I'm an influential and respected man. It would not be worth my life to do anything for Monsieur Laszlo. You, however, are a different matter.
Signor Ferrari thinks it might just be possible to get the next visa for you.
You mean for me to go on alone?
And only alone.
I'll stay here and keep on trying. I'm sure in a little while.
Might as well be frank, monsieur. It would take a miracle to get you out of Casablanca, and the Germans have outlawed miracles.
We are only interested in 2 visas, senor.
Please, Elsa, don't be hasty.
No, Victor, no.
You two will want to discuss this. Excuse me. I'll be at the bar.
No, Elsa, I won't let you stay here. You must get to America. Believe me, somehow I'll get out and join you.
But Victor, if the situation were different, if I had to stay and there were only visa for one, would you take it?
Yes, I would.
Yes, I see. When I had trouble getting out of Lille, why didn't you leave me there? And when I was sick in Marseille and held you up for 2 weeks and you were in danger every minute of the time, why didn't you leave me then?
I meant to, but something always held me up. I love you very much, Elsa.
Your secret will be safe with me. Ferrari's waiting for us.
Not more than 50 francs, though.
See, once again, men showing honor. See, we have protected women because they accepted and understood that. They were not demanding that we treat them like men. And yet women are asking for the protection that they would have gotten back then, and men honored that without hesitation. As you see, there was a very different relationship between men and women. I mean, you just look at the way she's dressed, you just look at the femininity that she exudes in even other women.
Monsieur Rick,
Yes?
could I speak to you for just a moment, please?
Once you get in here, you're underage.
I came with Captain Reno.
I should have known.
My husband is with me, too.
He is. Well, Captain Reno's getting broad-minded. Sit down. You have a drink? No, of course not. Do you mind if I do?
No. Monsieur Rick, what kind of a man is Captain Reno?
Oh, he's just like any other man, only more so.
No, I mean, is he trustworthy? Is his word?
Oh, just a minute. Who told you to ask me that?
He did. Captain Reno did.
I thought so. Where's your husband?
At the roulette table, trying to win enough for our exit visas. Oh, of course, he's losing.
How long have you been married?
8 weeks. We come from Bulgaria. Oh, things are very bad there, monsieur. The devil has the people by the throat. So, Jan and I, we did not want our children to grow up in such a country.
And so you decided to go to America.
Yes, but we have not much money, and traveling is so expensive and difficult. It was much more than we thought to get here. And then Captain Renault sees us, and he is so kind. He wants to help us.
Yes, I'll bet.
He tells me he can give us an exit visa, but we have no money.
Does he know that?
Oh, yes.
And he's still willing to give you a visa?
Yes, monsieur.
And you want to know?
Will he keep his word?
He always has.
Oh.
So very interesting. Even Rick here can vouch for the captain, even though his activity definitely isn't well, I guess from a moral perspective, people would say lack of morals, because you understand that she understands what the payment is, and she's married and underage, and she just wants to know, if she puts out, is the good old captain going to keep his word? And clearly she's ready to put out to get visas for her and her husband.
Monsieur, you are a man. If someone loved you very much, so that your happiness was the only thing that she wanted in the world, she did a bad thing to make certain of it, could you forgive her?
Nobody ever loved me that much.
And he never knew. And the girl kept this bad thing locked in her heart. That would be all right, wouldn't it?
You want my advice?
Oh, yes, please.
Go back to Bulgaria.
Oh, but if you knew what it means to us to leave Europe, to get to America. Oh, but if Jan should find out. He is such a boy. In many ways, I am so much older than he is.
Yes, well, everybody in Casablanca has problems. Yours may work out. You'll excuse me.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. You see, here we are again.
I take that as
Interesting scene, isn't it? She wonders if she uses her body to pay for passports, if she will ever be forgiven. Can she do something so awful and get away with it and keep it locked inside? Very interesting. I guess this is one of the things that makes men so hesitant. The thing that scene is what makes so many men shy away from committing to women. She just demonstrated that she could do something that she believes is so awful and claims she did it because she loved him. I did an awful thing because I love you.
It's a great compliment to Sam. I suppose he means to you, Paris, of happier days.
He does. Could we have a table close to him?
As far away from Major Strasser as possible. Only geography may be a little difficult to arrange. Paul, table 30.
Yes, sir. Right this way, if you please.
I'll have Sam play As Time Goes By. I believe that's your favorite tune.
Thank you.
To cognac, please.
Yeah. Marquons les jeux, mesdames et messieurs, les jeux sont faits. La partie continue. Mesdames et messieurs, marquons les jeux. Les jeux sont faits, marquons les jeux. Les jeux sont faits. Le 8 en plein. Allez, chaud. On paye en plein le 8. Do you wish to place another bet, sir?
No, I guess not.
Have you tried 22 tonight? I said 22.
Marquons les jeux, mesdames et messieurs. Les jeux sont faits, la partie continue. Marquons les jeux. Fini. 22. Noir, pair et passe. 22.
Leave it there.
Marquons les jeux, mesdames et messieurs. Les jeux sont faits. Marquons les jeux, la partie continue. Marquons les jeux sont faits. Rien ne va plus. Vingt-deux, noir, pair et passe.
Cash it in and don't come back.
Rien ne va plus, monsieur. Fini.
Are you sure this place is honest?
Honest? As honest as the day's long.
Rien ne va plus.
How are we doing tonight?
Well, a couple of thousand less than I thought there would be.
Rien ne va plus. 34 rouges, pair et passe.
Monsieur Rick.
Marquons les jeux, mesdames et messieurs. Les jeux sont
Just a lucky guy.
La partie continue. Mesdames et messieurs, marquons les jeux. Les jeux sont faits.
May I get you a cup of coffee?
No thanks, Carl.
Monsieur Rick.
So when I wanted to talk about honorable, you see what Rick just did. He made sure her husband won. Oh. You see what he just did? Made sure her husband won. And if you watched when she hugged him, she kissed him on the neck. And he pulled her off of him. Told her to get out. Go. No question, that was an honorable thing. He didn't have to make sure they won. He could have let her husband lose the money and she would have had to have had sex with the captain and gotten their visas. He saved her from doing what she called a horrible thing.
Rien ne va plus. Rien ne va plus, madame. Rien ne va plus, madame.
Captain Renault, may I go?
Not here, please. Come to my office in the morning. We'll do everything businesslike.
We'll be there at 6.
I'll be there at 10. I'm very happy for both of you. Still, it's very strange that you won. Well, maybe not so strange. I'll see you in the morning.
Thank you so much, Captain Reynolds.
No. Boss, you've done a beautiful thing.
Well, you crazy Russian.
As I suspected, you're a rank sentimentalist.
Yeah, why?
Why do you interfere with my little romances?
Put it down as a gesture to love.
Well, I forgive you this time. But I'll be in tomorrow night with a breathtaking blonde. It'll make me very happy if she loses.
Oh man. Captain has got his little scam going on, right? He's using him. As you see, the captain has his scam going on. He does some real under the table, dirty deals, manipulation with people. And he lets Rick keep his place open because he gets to win at the roulette table also. So he understands how the game works. Rick knows how to manage his ecosystem there.
Late. I was informed just as I was about to leave the hotel, so I knew I'd be on time. I thought I...
So there's been a whole bunch of back and forth about those papers that the guy gave to Rick early on. Those are papers to get out of the country. He has them for 2, and there's been back and forth about whether he lets his old flame and her husband go, and she literally wants to go with Rick instead of her husband Vic. So I'm skipping a lot of scenes because YouTube is not so happy about my fair, fair usage.
Asking to tie up your watchdog.
Oh, he won't be followed here. This place will never be the same without you, Ricky.
Yes, I know what you mean, but I've already spoken to Ferrari. You'll still win at roulette.
Is everything ready?
Have the letters right here.
Tell me, when we searched the place, where were they?
Sam's piano.
Serves me right for not being musical.
Oh, here they are. You better wait in my office.
Richard, Victor thinks I'm leaving with him. Haven't you told him?
No, not yet.
But it's all right, isn't it? You were able to arrange everything.
Everything is quite all
Oh,
right.
Rick.
We'll tell him at the airport. The less time to think, the easier for all of us. Please trust me.
There.
Sam's piano.
So, as you will see in this scene, she has clearly decided she's leaving her husband for Rick. She's going to leave Vic for Rick. Watch her.
Richard, Victor thinks I'm leaving with him. Haven't you told him?
No, not yet.
But it's all right, isn't it? You were able to arrange everything.
Everything is quite all right.
Oh, Rick.
We'll tell him at the airport. The less time to think, the easier for all of us. Please trust me.
Yes, I will.
Mr. Blaine, I don't know how to thank you. I'll save it. We've still lots of things to do.
I brought the money, Monsieur Blaine.
Keep it. You'll need it in America.
But we made a deal.
Now, never mind that. You won't have any trouble in Lisbon, will you?
No, it's all arranged.
Good. I've got the letters right here, all made out in blank. All you have to do is fill in the signatures.
Victor Laszlo? Victor Laszlo, you're under arrest. On the charge of accessory to the murder of the couriers from whom these letters were stolen. Oh, you're surprised about my friend Ricky. The explanation is quite simple. Love, it seems, has triumphed over virtue.
Not so fast, Louis. Nobody's going to be arrested, not for a while yet.
You've taken leave of your senses.
I have. Sit down over there.
Put that gun down.
Louis, I wouldn't like to shoot you, but I will if you take one more step.
Under the circumstances, I will sit down.
Keep your hands on the table.
I suppose you know what you're doing, but I want to realize what this means.
I do. We've got plenty of time to discuss that later.
Call up your watchdogs, you said.
Just the same, you call the airport and let me hear you tell them. And remember, this gun is pointed right at your heart.
That is my least vulnerable spot. Hello? Is that the airport? This is Captain Renner speaking. There were 2 letters of transit for the Lisbon plane. That is my least vulnerable spot.
apologize for you two wanting to play around. As you see, a little bit of confusion going on. Or is this just honor at work?
Hello? Is that the airport? Huh? This is Captain Reynolds speaking. There were 2 letters of transit for the Lisbon plane. There's been no trouble about them. Good. Hello? Hello?
My car, quickly. There, Mayor. This is Major Stasha. Have a squad of police meet me at the airport at once. At once, do you hear?
Hello? Hello? Radio tower. Lisbon plane taking off in 10 minutes. East runway. Visibility 1.5 miles. Light ground fog. Depth of fog approximately 500. Ceiling unlimited. Thank you.
Will you have your man go with Mr. Laszlo and take care of his luggage?
Certainly, Rick. Anything you say. Find Mr. Laszlo's luggage and put it on the plane.
Yes, sir. This way.
If you don't mind, you fill in the names. That'll make it even more official.
You think of everything, don't you?
And the names are Mr. and Mrs. Victor Laszlo.
But why my name, Richard?
Because you're getting on that plane.
I don't understand. What about you?
I'm staying here with him till the plane gets safely away.
No, Richard, no. What has happened to you last night?
Last night we said a great many things. You said I was to do the thinking for both of us. Well, I've done a lot of it since then. It all adds up to one thing. You're getting on that plane with Victor where you will
think of everything, don't you?
And the names are Mr. and Mrs. Victor Laszlo.
But why my name, Richard?
Because you're...
So in a scene that I skipped over, he was privately in his office with her, and at some point she said she was confused and wasn't sure if she should go with her husband to the U.S. or go with Rick Humphrey here. And she said, well, she told Rick, you're going to have to do the thinking for the two of us.
We're getting on that plane.
I don't understand. What about you?
I'm staying here with him till the plane gets safely away.
No, Richard, no. What has happened to you last night?
Last night we said a great many things. You said I was to do the thinking for both of us. Well, I've done a lot of it since then. It all adds up to one thing. You're getting on that plane with Victor where you belong.
But Richard, no.
Now, you've got to listen to me. You have any idea what you'd have to look forward to if you stayed here? 9 chances out of 10, we'd both wind up at a concentration camp. Isn't that true, Louis?
I'm afraid Major Strasser would insist.
You're saying this only to make me go.
I'm saying it because it's true. Inside of us, we both know you belong with Victor. You're part of his work, the thing that keeps him going. If that plane leaves the ground and you're not with him, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life.
What about us?
We'll always have Paris. We didn't have. We lost it until you came to Casablanca. We got it back last night.
when I said I would never leave you.
And you never will. I've got a job to do, too. Where I'm going, you can't follow. What I've got to do, you can't be any part of. Ilsa, I'm no good at being noble, but it doesn't take much to see that the problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. Someday you'll understand that. Now. He's looking at you, kid.
What's it? Damn it. We're at the end of the movie. What's in the best interest of everyone? What's in the best interest of everyone? So they talked it through. She explained why she didn't show up at the train station. And the reason she didn't show up is because she thought her husband was killed in a concentration camp when he tried to escape. So she was lonely. She met Ricky here. Pretty Ricky gave her all the time and love and affection and attention that she needed. And she fell for him. And then when when the Germans were coming into Paris, Ricky said, "Well, we have to get out of here." And so she found out the day before that her husband was not killed. He was alive and he was going to be in Paris. So she couldn't go. She was torn. So now Ricky's saying, do the right thing. You have to go. If you abandon your husband, it's going to affect a much bigger picture, which is there's this movement. There's a war, world war happening. Something has to be done, and everyone plays their role.
Everything is in order. All except one thing. There's something you should know before you leave. Mr. Blaine, I don't ask you to explain anything. I'm going to anyway because it may make a difference to you later on. You said you knew about Ilsa and me. Yes. But you didn't know she was at my place last night when you were. She came there for the letters of transit. Isn't that true, Ilsa?
Yes.
She tried everything to get them and nothing worked. She did her best to convince me that she was still in love with me. That was all over long ago. For your sake, she pretended it wasn't, and I let her pretend. I understand. Here it is. She did her best to convince me that she was still in love with me. That was all over long ago.
Yes.
She tried everything.
So very interesting how he explains when he's saying your wife came to see me, and I wish I I could show you, but YouTube is making this too long, so I'm getting to the end of this. But I questioned whether she was playing him. But from looking at this scene, it seems like no. Maybe she is.
To get them and nothing worked. She did her best to convince me that she was still in love with me. That was all over long ago. For your sake, she pretended it wasn't, and I let her pretend.
I understand.
Here it is.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Welcome extra fight. This time I know our side will win. You ready, Elsa?
Yes, I'm ready. Try, Rick.
Gotta hurry, you'll miss that plane.
Well, I was right. You are a sentimentalist.
Stay where you are. I don't know what you're talking about.
What you just did for Laszlo. That fairy tale you invented to send Ilsa away with it. I know a little about women, my friend. She went, but she knew you were lying.
Anyway, thanks for helping me out.
I suppose you know this isn't going to be very pleasant for either of us, especially for you sentimentalists.
Stay where you are. I don't know what you're talking about.
What you just did for Laszlo. That fairy tale you invented to send Ilsa away with it. I know a little about women, my friend. She went, but she knew you were lying.
Anyway, thanks for helping me out.
I suppose you know this isn't going to be very pleasant for either of us, especially for you. I'll have to arrest you, of course.
As soon as the plane goes, Louis.
What was the meaning of that phone call? Victor Laszlo is on that plane. Why do you stand here? Why don't you stop him? Ask Monsieur Rick.
Get away from that phone.
I would advise you not to interfere.
I was willing to shoot Captain Reno, and I'm willing to shoot you.
Hello.
Put that phone down.
Get me the radio tower.
Put it down.
Serious decisions being made here. So this movie is showing some serious decision making. Perhaps what we just watched is what it looks like to give up freedom to have freedom, and and clearly there is honor in this. This isn't just some airy fairy emotional decision making.
Major Strasser has been shot. Round up the usual suspects.
Now that was deep. If you saw that, the captain, look at how the captain handled that. There's honor. There's still honor. That relationship that these guys have. A lot of tough decisions being made here.
Well, Rick, you're not only a sentimentalist, but you've become a patriot.
I mean, but it seemed like a good time to start.
I think perhaps you're right. It might be a good idea for you to disappear from Casablanca for a while. There's a free French garrison over at Brazzaville. I could be induced to arrange a passage.
My letter of transit? I could use a trip.
It might be a good idea for you to disappear from Casablanca for a while. There's a free French garrison over at Brazzaville. I could be induced to arrange a passage.
My letter of transit? I could use a trip. It doesn't make any difference about our bet. You still owe me 10,000 francs.
And that 10,000 francs should pay our expenses.
Our expenses? Mm-hmm. Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Man, sorry about all those YouTube interruptions. Wish that could have gone a lot smoother. There was some more that I wanted to show you. It would have gone a lot faster without the interruptions. But even to the very end, I wanted it to be shown at the end because you saw that there was still honor. Captain owed him $10,000. He's going to get him out of there. Just a ton of leadership, a ton of honor. There was some dishonor. There's some, what do you call, there was some bad behavior, right? There was some scamming and con artists and pickpockets and sleazy stuff. I'll get your visas if you sleep with me. Rigging the games, the roulette table. But there was an enormous amount of honor. The principles, the men being principled and working for the greater good was really a clear theme right up until the end. And I wanted to get that out there without all the interruptions. And unfortunately, we had them. So I wanted to keep the integrity of the live stream. I definitely didn't think it was going to go this long. But if you want to see the movie, you can definitely check it out. It's a worthwhile classic. And I'm not saying women don't possess any honor. I'm saying that the extent to which men put their lives on the line, the extent to which even manhood was honored, right? The greater good, the greater cause. And I'd say today that's really needed in our society amongst men. We perhaps compete too much as men against one another in situations where collaboration would be important. And now that we have so many women in positions where men once would have been, women are not the greatest at collaborating. But there are things that we could get done as a society that wouldn't allow us to be so easily led like sheep. And perhaps that was 1942, World War II, people not wanting to be led like sheep, fighting for the greater good. So men definitely understand honor. We understand principles. And I thought that was a great movie to get it across. And if you look at some of the tough decisions that had to be made, these were great demonstrations of leadership. And I know women talk about how they want guys who are great decision makers and being more manly. But I don't know if they always want everything that comes with it. Because if you have that kind of mindset that you saw here, you're less likely to be a guy who allows women to influence your decisions. You're going to make them, even if she doesn't like them, she doesn't agree with them, she's adamantly opposed, and you saw that also. And there was a level of respect that men had for one another in their protection of women. You saw he let the husband win at the roulette table so his wife wouldn't have to sleep with the captain to get their visas. So, hey guys, for those of you who stuck in here with me, I can't thank you enough. Huge thank you. Never imagined I was going to be disrupted this much. I'm looking for other movies that will illustrate other valuable principles that men would be wise to resurge these ideals about life. There are lots of things that I can say, but sometimes Hollywood puts life into these words and these principles, the ideals, the honor, and not in some fairy tale kind of way. I mean, this was based on a war that was actually happening, and there were lots of behind the scenes things, activities that we'll never hear about. So I'm not going to hold this up any longer. I really appreciate you guys for sticking it in here with me. And like this video, share it. The super chats that went on that you guys made, thanks a lot. And I'll be back real soon with a video that will be provocative. So have a great evening, everyone. Thanks a lot. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.